Hello, everybody. This is a big occasion, a grand one, in fact. We have somebody very, very special today with us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my proud privilege to welcome the Global Brand Ambassador for AIA, David Beckham.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome, David. Ceremony aside, I am extremely excited. I feel like actually yelling out and saying, wow, what an opportunity for me. It's hugely exciting to be interacting with you, but then I'll hold myself. Yeah, my name is Venki David, and I'm the Chief Distribution Officer here. Let me also now welcome another very important person, our Managing Director and CEO, Mr. Rishi Srivastava.
Hi, Venki.
You know, David, we were always looking forward to your visit to India. And trust me, this virtual platform honestly doesn't seem like a bad substitute after all. Talking about virtual platforms, we realize that during these times, this new normal and the way of life that it is crafted for all of us, it has become that much more important for us to all stay connected emotionally. And that's precisely been our endeavor at Tata AIA Life Insurance, where we have consistently tried to be in touch, stay available, stay in touch with our extended family, our employees, our advisors, our partners from time to time. And trust me, each one of them today across India, each one of our employees, our advisors, our partners is so eager to meet you, to hear from you, David. So without much ado then, let me hand it over to Rishi to take the proceedings forward. Over to you, Rishi.
Thanks, Venki. Thanks for the introduction. Welcome, David. Once again, we're really proud to have you as a global ambassador for AIA. So straight away, let me dive on to asking you a few questions about it. You are the global ambassador for AIA. Why did you choose this role? And what do you do in this role?
Well, firstly, I'd just like to say thank you for the warm welcome. This is the world that we've lived in for the last 6 months, doing these virtual calls and talking to different people globally. So it's definitely different to what the normality is for us, because whenever we go into partnerships, whenever I do anything for AIA, I'm always on the ground, and it's one thing that I enjoy doing. So I cannot wait to come to India. I've never been to India before, believe it or not. So I'm very excited about that trip and seeing you all in person. So to everybody that's listening today, I just want to say hello. Thank you for the support over the years, because I have a lot of fans in India supporting myself, my family, and of course the teams that I've played for over the years. So thank you for the support, and I look forward to meeting you all in person at some point. So my role as ambassador of AIA is something that I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of the partners that I have within the business and the partners that I've had over the years through playing football. We do a lot of great work, and my job as ambassador is to tell my story, really. My story of how, not just myself, but how, my family, my children, my wife, my parents, live their life, and we try to help people as much as we can. And like I said, when you're part of a company that does so much great work and that does so much for so many people, that makes me very proud to be an ambassador.
Today's event is all about, David, inspiring, motivating, educating many people out there in the journey, not only on the physical health, but also the emotional, mental, and financial health. Now, you have been a sportsman at the highest level. You've represented your country many a times. Your husband, you've got 4 children and 3 dogs. So, we were just talking about them. 3 dogs, and you have business interests, many business interests. How do you fit in all this? How do you fit in, and how do you strive forward in your healthier, better, longer lives? How do you manage all this?
Well, I think the most important thing for me personally is looking after myself, eating the right things, drinking the right things, exercising as much as possible, taking the dogs for a walk. But my number one priority in everything that I do through my career, through through my business has always been my family. And I think that's why my relationship, my partnership, and our journey with AIA is so perfect, because it's all about, preserving the future. It's all about looking after family. It's all about doing the right things. It's all about having the right headspace. And now more than any time, it's important that we're kinder to people. It's important that we're looking after people. Of course, we need to work hard to get things back to as much normality as possible. But my priority has always been my family, and the health of my family. And that's the most important thing to me. So as busy as I am in the business and in life, the number one priority is my family.
David, you obviously had an exceptional career, glorious one, obviously. Now, how did this football dream happen? Tell us a little more about that story, please.
I grew up in the East End of London, and my dream was always to be a professional footballer for as long as I can remember. My dad was a Manchester United fan. My granddad was a Tottenham fan, and my other granddad was an Arsenal fan. But Manchester United was always my team. And I followed them from a very young age, from 5, 6 years old. And then I had the opportunity to obviously sign for Manchester United, which I did. I moved to Manchester when I was 16 years old and stayed there till I was 27 years old. For all the Manchester United and my fans watching, I'm sure you've heard this story a million times and you know this story, but obviously when I left Manchester United, I went to Real Madrid 4 years, ended up winning obviously La Liga there, then moved to the US and stayed in the US for 6 years. But I was very lucky because I got to live my dream. My dream was always to play for Manchester United and to represent my country. Now, I never dreamt that I would have the career that I had. I never dreamt that I would be able to play for great clubs like Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, AC Milan, the Galaxy, and now be the owner of my own team in Miami. Also representing England 115 times. I could never have dreamt that would have been possible. But I always worked hard, and I always tell my children, and I always tell children that are asking me the question about how I got to that level or how I was successful with the teams that I played for. And yes, of course, you have to have a certain amount of talent, but the majority of it is hard work. I've played with players before that have not been the most talented players on the pitch, but they work harder than anybody else, and they are the ones that have the most successful careers. And I take that into the business side as well, because I think it's so important that, yes, you have to have a great team around you. Yes, you have to set the right examples, but it's the hard work. It's simple as that. You have to work hard.
Absolutely. Now, David, in 2002, there was one Indian movie named after you. It was Bend It Like Beckham. And that movie actually inspired a whole lot of women to pursue professional soccer. Did you get a chance to watch that?
I've watched that movie more times than anyone, I think. Because obviously, my children, my eldest is 21, my youngest is 9. Obviously, I have 2 other children in between that, and they've all over the years started watching that movie over and over again. And we watched it a couple of times over lockdown as well. I was very touched and privileged that, someone would make a movie like that. And I think it was more successful than anyone could have dreamt. It had a great cast. There was a great storyline behind it, and I was very proud to have something like that.
David, we've also seen it many a times here. Can assure you, it's one of the popular movies out here. David, we have thousands of advisors and very critical partners, who've joined with us. And some of them are watching today. Just like you, they are also our brand ambassador. Times are challenging. The whole world is in a shift, in a flux right now. What would be your advice to them? If you can give them a tip or a mantra, what it would be?
We're living in very strange times. It has been for the last 6 months. And there's one thing that, that I feel that we need to be more positive. We need to stay positive. This is the moment where we need to be kinder than ever before, because there are people, businesses, individuals, groups of people that are all living through this. And I think it's now more than ever the moment to actually take a step back and say, okay, the main thing is, yes, we have to work hard. Yes, we have to look after each other, but be kinder.
Yeah, David, I like that term you use, strange times, for today's times, honestly. India has had a continued phase of lockdown, a partial lockdown right now as we speak. And I'm aware UK was in this phase for a fairly long time. So how did things happen for you, your family? How did you all cope with it? How did you stay engaged? How did you guys stay healthy?
We were very lucky. We live in the countryside where we have space. But I think the most important thing over lockdown for us was to look after the children, and that sounds an obvious thing to do. And of course, we want them to keep up with their schoolwork. Of course, we want as much normality as possible. But in their little minds, they are going through the strange times, and all children are different. All children handle it in different ways. But I think the most important thing, that we wanted our children to look back on this time as a happy time, because of course there's anxiety, there's struggles, there's uncertainty. And the most important thing for us, that we came out of this lockdown and our children look back at, the last five and a half months and said, wow, do you remember when we used to go on those walks every day? Or wow, do you remember those movies that we used to watch each night? And wow, do you remember how bad or how good Dad's cooking was? I think that is the most important thing that we wanted to come out of, the lockdown. And, everybody's different. Everybody has gone through it in different ways. But, me and Victoria sat down with each other and said, yes, we want normality with their schoolwork. We have to keep up with that. But the most important thing for our children was that they came out of this and was like, yes, do you remember those special moments?
Very well said. And David, you always know that you always wanted to come to India. Is there anything specific which you want to do in India? Any place specifically you want to visit?
You know what? I'm going to have to be guided by you guys, because it's the one place that I've always wanted to come to, and the one place that I've actually never been to. So, culturally, I love the people. Everything about India is why I want to come. I love the food culture, which I must admit, that's one of the biggest reasons why I cannot wait to come, because I'm a big foodie, and I try any food, any heat, whether it's spicy, not so spicy, very spicy. I love Indian food, so I'm very excited about that. So you guys can guide me. You can be my travel guides whilst I'm there, and take me to some hot spots.
David, it will be a pleasure to host you here in India in person, and we look forward to that times. But really, we want to thank you for joining us today, David, through this webcast. We're really proud to have you as AIA Global Ambassador. And today, through this event, you have inspired many people. I'm sure you have inspired many people by sharing the insights which you have shared with us. Look forward to hosting you here in India in person. Thank you so much for taking time out today.
And thank you so much. It's amazing what we've realized over the last 5 months, what we can achieve virtually, doing things like this. And we can help as much as you guys need. And I think it's something that we do with AIA, and it's something that we do in different territories. And it's something that I've actually very much enjoyed. So like I said, it's amazing what we can achieve virtually, but wait until we're actually on the ground and we're in front of each other and we're meeting different people, and that's going to be the exciting part. So thank you for having me on today, and I want to say lots of love to everybody in India and to all of our friends and partners as well. And I cannot wait to get over there and eat some food and meet some great people.
Look forward to that, David.
Thank you so much.